Hello everyone, this is John Squid, and today I'm making a protection warrior video against DPSs. It's actually interesting to see that the protection warrior isn't as powerful as the other tanks that I've played. I have to say that still, if you get all DPS, you will most likely win. But if you play against like the mage that you will see at the end of the video, it's like that mage just perfectly kited me the entire game. So that's just, it's like warrior feels the most balanced so far. It's like you still do a lot of damage, but you don't get it for free, per se. Especially not against range. It's like you just don't get it free, and it's not as high as the other class. I think this is sort of what, like, protection war is sort of what warriors, what tanks in general should be. It's like not too strong, kiteable, and like when they get onto you, sure they do a shitload of damage. But if they don't get onto you, then yeah, then they're pretty much dead, which is a good thing. That's only a good thing. So here you can see my talents. Shockwave, Impending Victory, Ultimatum, Crackling Thunder, Indomitable, Booming Force, and Heavy Repercussions. I picked these because these are, in my opinion, the best. They're not obviously not the best, but in my opinion, these are the ones that I want to see and use. Could instead of like Ultimatum, you could use Renewed Fury. Because you have Ignore Pain up a lot, so you could also pick that one. Honor Talents, Adaptation as I always take. Relentless Soul, they always take that one. Sword and Board, because like works on like two important abilities like Devastate and Shield Slam. Rage Machine to get Rage. Shield Bash. This is really good against casters. It's like I had like this one point where I was playing against a Shadow Priest. I think it was a Shadow Priest that I played against, and I could just constantly interrupt the spell, and like the cooldown kept going back instantly all the time, which is really nice. Thunderstruck, just for the snares where people can't really run away that well, and that's what I opted for. It's like the other ones didn't seem that great, or they seem more like group play oriented, so that's why I picked those. And yeah, as you can see, it's like most of them are just used for that you can use on other players. So it's like Protection Warrior feels more like in PvP, more like intended to be a group, like helping the group out all the time instead of just like being purely for themselves. Like for example, the Dead Knight and the Demon Hunter and the Paladin. No, the Paladin not so much, but the Demon Hunter and the Blooded Knight are just pure for themselves. So those are the talents that I picked. Let's go into the gameplay. I'm gonna talk a little bit over it because I know that people like to have not talking, and then some people like to have talk, so I'm gonna see if I can find a balance in this video. So let's get into the gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So here we start first off against a Unholy Dead Knight. So that was the first duel, and I was getting really annoyed by being tanked. By being kite, as you can see, like the damage is still sick. Like I feel like what all tanks have is that they like melee DPS is kinda shit against them, and like even when he pops all his cooldowns, he still isn't able to properly damage me. You can see here, even like trying to guide me, he still doesn't. It's like still a fairly easy win. So in this respect, Warrior feels a lot like all the other tanks. It's like melee is no issue whatsoever. I also played against tanks, and in that regard, Protection Warrior seems to fall behind a lot. It's like other tanks, like really easily beat. Well, at least the Protection Warrior really easily beat me. A Protection Paladin, but I'm gonna show you that video tomorrow with tanks. So I'm not gonna tell too much about it, but apart from that, I already just did. But and then I wanted to play against another Protection Warrior, and then but they didn't want to play, so see if I can get some tomorrow. So essentially, if you play it properly and like keep track of your fury and shit, you can keep Ignore Pain up for most of the time, which is my 4-3 ability. which makes you take 90% of the next X amount of like 400k damage or something. I mean, you can keep that up quite a lot. So that's just what you do. You basically use shield block, then ignore pain, and then you start using shield slam to increase the duration with that heavy repercussion skill that I use. So what I'm essentially doing against these tanks is just against these deep melee DPS, just keep spamming my ability, like just keep up your defenses as much as you can, and like try to lock them down with shockwave, and then demoralize shout them, and then because I had the demoralize shout that take increased damage from that, and then use your artifact weapon on them to do shitloads of damage. So apparently this I won against that rogue, he died somewhere. Okay, laser versus laser. As you can see, it's like just melee DPS, there's no issue whatsoever. What you want to do is like, if you looked at my talents, you want to combo them. So you can see that I start spamming the shield bash, and that just completely destroys the priest. Actually not keeping track of my health, so I'm not actually quite low to dying here. But as you can see, like ranged, I have a lot better chance by being able to kite. And here you're gonna see the another warrior. So overall, it's like protection warrior. It feels a lot more setup-y. Like you need to set up your DPS a lot more. Whereas, like for example, protection paladin, blood at night, they require no setup. You just mash everything when you can. And when you're demon hunter, it requires you to like sometimes switch ability so you can get your survivability up. But in general, like you don't need. It's like you don't need to set up your damage as much as the protection warrior does. And here, this is the last video. And this is just gonna show you like how well you can kite. Let's for example with the mage, like how if you're good at kiting, then you can completely kite and tank into oblivion. This guy perfectly showed it. Sure, I fucked up because I wasn't too used to my keybind, so I fucked up the leap. I also feel like the warrior is like the health that you see is pretty much 90% the health that you're gonna get. It's like warrior doesn't heal that much. It's like I've last stand which gave me more HP, and then I used the impending victory, but you don't really have that much HP. So I feel like this is sort of where the place where tanks need to be warrior. So this is probably gonna be, this is the end of the video, not probably, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And to summarize what I think about protection wars, this is sort of the damage that I should expect from a tank, and yeah, they're the most balanced in my opinion at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.